There's no Sononi this week. After all the hype from last week's episode, the lead up to it will have to wait. We've got painting to steals and a continuation of the Monster of the Week formula. So let me go ahead and put this water away because we've got ourselves a weekly drought on DonBrothers 28. Tsubasa is still getting his daily dose of cop chasing in, giving the guys in suits the slip as an onlooker takes notice. As for Detective Juto, he's put in his resignation. With what social skills? That man just growls. The onlooker, proving that she's more skilled than those paid professionals, catches up to Tsubasa and introduces herself as Mizuho, asking him for assistance. However, since she knows exactly how to keep a tight leash on a dog, Tsubasa's got nowhere to go. As it turns out, she's been playing too much Persona 5 and is seeking to steal some hearts, or rather, regain hers. Tsubasa's not about to join some amateur in committing crimes, especially since he's not done one himself. But she pulls on that leash even tighter. What she's after is a painting done by the late great Takeo Aota, and she's willing to transform into the Dynaman Hitotsuki to get it. When Tsubasa transforms to take her out, he notices that she's not willing to strike civilians, so he's willing to give her a listen. The painting was actually of her, and the painter was her lover. Intending to give it to her in the end, it was actually stolen after his death. Now it is up for auction. We now join Black Kaito spending his photo book money on trying to get that same painting for his cafe. At the auction, we see that not only are our thieves and cafe brethren here, but so is Tsuyoshi and his boss, because his boss's boss also wants that painting. Alright, let's start the bidding at 3 million. Do I hear 3.1? Do I hear a 4.5? We got ourselves a 5 million, and sit your ass back down before those two notice who you actually are. 8 million going once? 8 million going twice? 9 million kibi dango? Sounds like carbs to me. 10 mil... Damn, you sure like spending someone else's money like it's stimulus money.
5000.
Handing that wad of cash that turned out to be fake, Mizuho snatches up the painting and Tsubasa and makes for the exit. Surely our dynamic duo have taken notice to this predicament, right? Right? After taking the painting, she realizes that it's actually fake, and deduces that it was actually Takeo's assistant who was responsible for the wrongdoing. Haruka and Shinichi buy the story from the guy himself, that it was an honest mistake, but when he notices Haruka's face, he instantly wants to paint her. Haruka, being the egoist that she is not going to back down from being the center of attention. I question this show sometimes, but not as much as I actually should. With everyone distracted and Shinichi bumming off someone else's couch, it's time for our Phantom Thief to make their move. Getting easily caught, they make a run for it, with everyone joining in to give Inu Brother an intervention about playing good with the enemy. Mizuho's explosive personality gets the better of her, as Inu Brother fails to convince the crew that she's actually got a handle of herself. So when she gets bigly big, the bros combine to become fun-sized Don Oni Taijin, with Jiro getting all in on himself and becoming Tora Dragon Jin. As such, Taro suggests that they pull a fusion right out their ass. And they end up combining into Toradora Oni Taijin, who gets a vector horse out of nowhere and shows where the CG team from the first few episodes have been busy rendering for the last few months. The fight itself is pretty damn good, but then we get this goofy ass finisher with an emphasis on the ass. As the Hitotsu King is the subject of a double-cheeked serving of Demon and Monkey, the dogs get let out, there's some bird squawk, and a finisher of Taro riding on Jiro. You can't make this shit up. With the explosive urges gone, Mizuho takes the painting and burns it, as it was Takeo's wish, since the painting was considered a failure. The reason being was that it was unable to capture his true feelings correctly. With all the buildup of feels, it's now time for more Goofy. Because Haruka's got a painting for Black Kaito to put up on his wall after all. perfection. After the banger that was last week's episode and the anticipation of going into the next one, this episode brings it back down to the Monster of the Week formula. But it makes it somewhat unskippable since we get the debut of Toradora Oni Taijin. So let's quickly look at this guy. The headpiece is still growing on me, and it's the most awkward part, but I genuinely like the design of it. It's definitely very beastly. And I will likely end up having to purchase Toradora Dragon Jin. You know, I keep fucking up that name. I've done like 3 takes so far of trying to say Toradora Jin, and it keeps messing up. I'm leaving all this in. Anyway, I'm gonna have to end up buying that just so I can make this big-ass monster thing even bigger than it already is. I need space. I need more space. Also, reviews for this and that thing pending. Rating time! Honestly, coming off the high from the previous episode, I was full in hype mode for this one, and it just tempered my expectations. We get our usual gags with a caring story underneath, so it's just gonna end up getting a B. One thing that I really like about this episode is that it's showing that there are some people that can be in control of their Hitotsuki, since Mizuho has somewhat most control over that transformation, able to turn it on and off almost at will, and be aware of her actions while she's in that form, which is honestly a neat twist on what we've gotten with Hitotsuki so far. But how can Mizuho transform, take Tsubasa, and these guys not notice one bit when she reappeared with Inu Brother? Like, what the fuck? There isn't really much to say in terms of this episode, but I'm still genuinely upset that we haven't even gotten a glimmer of the fact of them realizing who each other are. We're gonna end this series with Tsubasa still not knowing who the DonBrothers were. I'm willing to take that bet now. On the episode in a whole, there really isn't much to say in regards to plot. The only thing that I'm really noticing is that a lot of Tsubasa's storylines tend to involve people that transform into Hitotsuki out of love. So it seems to form a correlation between him and the Hitotsuki that he draws in. But I'm still like, why is it still taking so long for the team to realize that he's him? I keep waiting, you keep waiting, I know we're all waiting. When are we gonna find out? Anyway, okay, so yeah, look, it's all about the next episode. It's all about the next episode. This is just, here as a palate cleanse to get our bodies ready for this next episode, right? I really hope I'm not overhyping myself just to get let down with this episode, but come on. Deepest lore time. I need it. Anyway, I know opinions are going to be kind of mixed when it comes to this week's episode because, as I mentioned, everyone's looking forward to the next one. So, it looks like it's gonna be a banger, but there is no Sononi this week, but next week. Until then, I'll keep the lids loose on my drinks as I wait. And that's it for me, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.